All right, let's take a deep dive into the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. We've got some fascinating excerpts here from Israel Regardie's book, The Complete Golden Dawn System of Magic. Rituals, symbolism, techniques, it's all here. This magical order has captivated occultists for over a century, so ready to unlock its secrets.
Absolutely. Let's dive in. The Golden Dawn emerged in the late 19th century. It's amazing how they wove together such a complex and captivating system of magic, drawing from ancient traditions like Egyptian magic, Kabbalah, even Freemasonry.
Like they created a best-of compilation of esoteric knowledge, huh? But who are the brains behind this magical mixtape?
Well, the Golden Dawn's origins are a bit mysterious. We know a few key figures played crucial roles, though. SDA, WWW, and SA. These cryptic initials represent the founders. They initiated the order's formation. Then there's SRMD. He's the one who really fleshed out the Golden Dawn's system of rituals. He drew upon these old Rosicrucian manuscripts.
Rosicrucianism. Secret societies, hidden knowledge. It all sounds very Dan Brown. But what kind of magic did they actually practice? Was it all about, summoning mystical creatures and casting dazzling spells?
Well, it was a bit more structured and intentional than that. The Golden Dawn's rituals, like the pentagram and hexagram rituals, they were incredibly detailed, involving specific visualizations, gestures, even the vibration of divine names.
Vibrating divine names. What does that even mean?
Think of it like a circuit breaker for spiritual energy. The Golden Dawn believed that by precisely visualizing symbols, making specific gestures, and vibrating divine names, they could actually manipulate spiritual energy, drawing in positive forces or banishing negative ones. These rituals weren't about instant manifestation. It was a disciplined approach to working with subtle energies.
Sounds incredibly intricate. And their focus on symbolism probably played a big part, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Every single element in their rituals had a deeper meaning. Take the Calvary Cross of 10 squares, for example. It's not just a random shape. It represents the 10 Sephiroth of the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. It's a map of the universe and the human soul.
So they saw this cross as a way to connect with a cosmic blueprint for spiritual growth.
Exactly. And that connection to a higher order permeates their entire system. Speaking of intricate symbols, the Golden Dawn placed a significant emphasis on the magical power of the Hebrew alphabet. They believed each letter possessed unique characteristics and symbolism.
Well, they weren't just learning Hebrew to read ancient texts. They saw it as a source of power in itself.
Precisely. They believed in the power of calligraphy, meticulously crafting each letter to harness its inherent energy. For example, the letter Aleph, the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It symbolizes beginnings and divine power. It even looks like an ox, symbolizing strength and creation.
Wow, it's like they saw magic woven into the very fabric of language. This attention to detail reminds me of the Tatwas. Weren't those also about manipulating subtle energies?
Yes. The Golden Dawn integrated the Tatwas, these subtle elements from Eastern traditions, into their system. They believed that mastering the Tatwas could give you control over forces like lightning, rain, even the ability to heal diseases.
Hold on, controlling the elements. That's some serious Avatar. The last Airbender stuff. How did they think that worked?
The Golden Dawn saw the Tatwas as bridges between the mental and physical realms. By focusing your mind and using specific visualizations, they believed you could influence these subtle energies, and in turn, influence the corresponding elements in the physical world.
Okay, starting to understand how their system weaves together different traditions and concepts here.
Yeah.
But before we get too deep into controlling the elements, I want to touch on something else they incorporated the tarot. They didn't just see it as a fortune-telling tool, right?
Absolutely not. They saw it as a roadmap of the soul's journey and the structure of reality itself. They mapped the major arcana onto the paths of the Tree of Life, and each suit of the minor arcana corresponded to an element. And a letter of the Tetragrammaton, the four-letter name of God in Hebrew.
So they weren't using it to predict if you'd win the lottery.
Not quite. They used it for introspection, meditation, understanding the deeper forces at play in their lives. It's fascinating how they took something familiar like the tarot and embedded it into their larger system.
We've covered a lot of ground already. Rituals, Hebrew letters, the Tree of Life, Tatwas. It's clear the Golden Dawn had a multifaceted system.
Yeah.
But what about exploring beyond the physical world? They were into astral travel too, right?
Yes. They practiced astral travel, projecting their consciousness beyond their physical bodies. They believed that by using specific symbols and divine names, you could navigate different realms of existence.
So not content with manipulating the elements, they wanted to traverse other dimensions too. What did they believe they could achieve through astral travel?
They sought knowledge and experiences not accessible in the material world. They believed astral travel allowed them to connect with higher beings, access hidden knowledge, even gain a deeper understanding of themselves. It was about pushing the boundaries of consciousness,
Right.
exploring the hidden dimensions of reality.
Wow, that's so,
Really fascinating stuff.
yeah, definitely a lot to unpack. There's so much more to learn about the Golden Dawn and their practices, but we'll have to save that for next time. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and be sure to tune in for part 2, where we'll delve even further into the mysteries of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Welcome back to our deep dive into the Golden Dawn. Last time we were talking about astral travel, and this idea of exploring different realms of existence makes you wonder, what was the ultimate goal of all these practices? Was it just about gaining, like, magical powers, or was there a deeper, spiritual purpose?
That's a great question. The Golden Dawn believed that these techniques were ultimately about achieving spiritual transformation. Remember that tree of life we discussed? They saw it as a roadmap for the soul's evolution.
Oh, right. So, like, by climbing this metaphorical tree, they were trying to, what, transcend their ordinary selves and connect with something greater.
Exactly. They believed each sephira on the tree of life represented a different aspect of consciousness. By working with these symbols and performing the associated rituals, they could activate these aspects within themselves and move closer to a state of union with the divine.
Sounds like a very intricate and demanding path. Did everyone in the Golden Dawn manage to achieve this kind of
Yeah.
spiritual enlightenment?
Well, even in a group dedicated to spiritual growth, there were plenty of challenges and conflicts. Despite their emphasis on order and hierarchy, the Golden Dawn was made up of individuals with their own personalities, ambitions, and interpretations of the teachings.
The human element, huh? Hard to escape that, even when you're dealing with magic and esoteric knowledge. What were some of the major conflicts that arose within the order?
One major conflict centered around the figure of Aleister Crowley, a brilliant but controversial member. We touched upon him earlier. He clashed with other leaders, particularly Mathers, over issues of authority and the direction of the order. Eventually, this led to a split, with Crowley forming his own path.
So even in a secret society dedicated to higher knowledge, you still had power struggles and personality clashes. It's a reminder that no group is immune to human drama. But despite these internal conflicts, the Golden Dawn's influence have continued to spread, right?
Absolutely. Their impact on modern occultism is undeniable. They help to demystify magic, making its principles and practices more accessible to a wider audience. Their rituals, symbols, and techniques have been adapted and reinterpreted by countless groups and individuals, keeping their legacy alive and evolving.
It's amazing how these teachings, once confined to secret societies, have now permeated popular culture. You see Golden Dawn symbols everywhere in books, movies, even tattoos. But, some people might still be skeptical of all this. What would you say to someone who dismisses it as just a bunch of hocus pocus?
I think it's important to remember that the Golden Dawn approached magic as a system of knowledge and practice, not just a collection of spells and superstitions. They drew from ancient traditions, but they also sought to understand the underlying principles at work.
So it wasn't about blindly believing in magic, but about studying it in a methodical way, like any other discipline.
Exactly. They believed that magic was a real force, but one that required careful study and application to be understood and harnessed. It's not about, wishing for things to happen. It's about aligning yourself with the forces of the universe to bring about change both within yourself and in the world around you.
That makes sense. But still, some of the concepts we've discussed, like astral travel or communicating with entities, might seem pretty far out there to some people.
I understand that. These are concepts that push the boundaries of conventional science and challenge our understanding of reality. But within the Golden Dawn system, they were considered valid practices based on their experiences and the teachings they received.
So it's not about blindly accepting these ideas, but about being open to the possibility that there might be more to reality than we currently perceive.
That's a great way to put it. I think the Golden Dawn's teachings encourage us to question our assumptions and explore the hidden dimensions of existence. Whether or not you believe in the literal truth of their claims, there's a lot to be gained from studying their system and the insights it offers into the workings of the human mind and the nature of consciousness.
That's a powerful perspective. It's not about proving or disproving anything, but about using these teachings as a framework for exploring our own inner worlds and the mysteries of the universe. Okay, we've talked about the Golden Dawn's spiritual goals,
Hmm.
their internal conflicts, and their lasting influence. But did they actually believe they could achieve practical results with their magic? Was it all just about inner transformation? Or were they trying to influence events in the physical world as well?
They definitely believed that magic could be used to bring about tangible results. While spiritual development was central to their teachings, they also saw magic as a tool for healing, protection, achieving success in various endeavors, and even influencing the thoughts and actions of others.
Wait, influencing the thoughts and actions of others. That sounds a bit ethically ambiguous, doesn't it?
It certainly raises some ethical concerns. The Golden Dawn emphasized the importance of using magic responsibly and ethically. But like any tool, it can be misused. It's important to approach these ideas with caution and to consider the potential consequences of our actions.
So it's not about forcing your will on others, but about understanding and working with the subtle forces that connect us all.
That's a key point. They believed that everything in the universe was interconnected. And by understanding these connections, one could influence events without resorting to coercion or manipulation. It's a subtle and complex approach, and one that requires a deep understanding of the principles at work.
Sounds like walking a tightrope, balancing the potential for positive change with the responsibility of wielding such powerful forces. It's no wonder the Golden Dawn attracted individuals who were both brilliant and perhaps a bit eccentric.
That's a fair assessment. They were pioneers exploring the frontiers of consciousness and the possibilities of magic. And while their legacy is complex and sometimes controversial, there's no doubt they left an indelible mark on the world of occultism and esotericism.
It's fascinating how they managed to blend such a diverse range of influences, from ancient traditions to modern ideas, into a coherent system. And it's clear that their teachings continue to resonate with people today, whether they're practicing occultists or simply curious about the hidden dimensions of reality.
Absolutely. The Golden Dawn story is a reminder that the human quest for knowledge and spiritual meaning is a constant. And their teachings, whether you embrace them fully or simply find them intriguing, offer a glimpse into the vast possibilities that lie beyond the limitations of the ordinary world.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. We've explored their intricate rituals, symbolism, and spiritual goals. But I'm curious about their lasting impact. What's the Golden Dawn's legacy in the modern world?
The Golden Dawn's influence on contemporary occultism, it's immense. It's like their teachings were seeds that have sprouted into a diverse garden of magical traditions.
So even though the original order fragmented, its ideas continue to resonate and evolve.
Absolutely. Many modern magical groups trace their lineage back to the Golden Dawn, drawing inspiration from their rituals, symbolism, and techniques. Some have stayed close to the original teachings, while others have adapted and reinterpreted them, creating their own unique systems.
It's like they provided a foundation that others have built upon, adding their own insights and experiences. What are some examples of how these Golden Dawn concepts are being used today?
One interesting development is the integration of psychology and psychotherapy into magical practices. Many modern occultists recognize the importance of understanding the workings of the human mind and the role of the subconscious in magical work.
So it's not just about chanting spells and drawing symbols. It's about understanding the psychological and emotional dynamics at play.
Exactly. It's about using magical techniques to facilitate personal growth, healing, and self-discovery. It's about integrating the magical and the psychological, recognizing that they're two sides of the same coin.
It seems like a natural progression. Considering the Golden Dawn's emphasis on inner transformation, have you noticed any other shifts in how their teachings are being interpreted?
Another evolution is the increasing emphasis on ethics and responsibility in magical practice. Many modern occultists are very mindful of the potential impact of their actions and strive to use magic in a way that benefits both themselves and others.
That makes sense, especially considering some of the potentially controversial aspects of Golden Dawn magic, like influencing others. It sounds like there's a growing awareness of the importance of using these tools wisely and ethically.
Absolutely. The Golden Dawn's teachings, while powerful, require careful consideration and a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. Modern practitioners are increasingly recognizing the need for responsibility and a focus on the greater good.
This deep dive has been incredibly illuminating. We've journeyed from the origins of a secretive magical order to its lasting impact on modern spirituality and consciousness. It's amazing how these teachings, once hidden in obscure manuscripts, have become so influential.
It speaks to the human desire to explore the mysteries of existence, to seek knowledge and understanding beyond the limits of the ordinary world. The Golden Dawn, despite its imperfections and internal conflicts, provided a framework for that exploration, and its legacy continues to inspire and challenge us today.
It's been a fascinating journey through the world of the Golden Dawn, from their elaborate rituals and profound symbolism, to their exploration of consciousness and the hidden dimensions of reality. Their teachings continue to captivate and intrigue. And even if you don't subscribe to every belief or practice, their story encourages us to question our assumptions and explore the vast possibilities that lie beyond the limits of our everyday perception. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.